Mike's had quite a week, Sean, traveling around the world of college basketball. Mike, have you enjoyed your journey this week?
Hey, anytime you can see the projected top 3 picks in 4 days, not bad. Not bad at all.
Can you tell Sam to stop walking in front of your shot? I mean, America wants to see you.
It's priorities. Come on.
All right, let's talk about Monday night. Your Notre Dame, Duke, Paulo Banchero. What's your assessment of where Paolo is right now, and what have you seen that you like, and what do you want to see more of?
He's the best shot creator of the 3. He's the most physically ready of the 3. When you talk about a guy 6'10", 250 pounds, who can play really anywhere on the floor offensively. I mean, they'll use him as a screener or a ball handler in pick and roll. And, ooh, Timmy, he can play pick and roll too. But I was really impressed with his ability to get to his spots in mid-range, his ability to get to his pull-up, the fact that he can push in transition, he can get downhill, he's physical. I just want to see him fully engaged defensively all the time. I think that's the next step for him. He had a huge block at the rim. He's starting to show glimpses, but that's the main area of growth for Paulo Banchero moving forward.
It is kind of cool. One of the reasons why we wanted to have, I mean, not just because Mike is here, but a week where Mike's getting a chance to see in person, all in a short window of time, the top 3 prospects for the upcoming NBA draft, one of which we have here in this game. They're going to call a lane violation. So the missed free throw, Timmy is going to get another opportunity. But you talk about those top prospects and the 3 that Mike has seen this week. Chet Holmgren here in this game. Paolo, he just was talking about with Duke on Monday. Jabari Smith with Auburn. You love Jabari Smith.
I love Jabari Smith. Drew Timmy makes him pay, by the way, for the lane violation. Extra point for Gonzaga there. That one that they couldn't, and now they're going to extend out their press. You saw Jabari. What's your thoughts on where Jabari is? 6'10", on the best player on the nation's #1 team, Mike.
Man, he is something special, you know, in terms of not just how he is as a player, but as a person. And I was able to sit down and break down some film with him for about 45 minutes. And woo, nice finish.
Yeah, Hunter Salas, who someday is going to be a big prospect, I think, himself, with a nice move. Continue, Mike.
Yeah, and he's someone we've been following for a couple of years, Hunter Salas. He's an explosive athlete, and I think it's just the physicality piece and the game slowing down for him, but certainly has a chance, you know, down the road. Yeah, Jabari, back to, you know, what I saw in terms of the actual play. I mean, defensively, I think he's the best of the 3 on the perimeter. He can really, really guard his position. He has tremendous feet at 6'10", and then he's the best shooter of the bunch, no doubt about that. Absolutely knocked down off the catch. He's great in mid-range spots. Big-time tipping there. So I left there thinking that he has a real chance to go #1, and I would slide him right ahead of Banchero in a head-to-head matchup there.
All right, so that brings us to the big man who's on the bench right now for Gonzaga, Chet Holmgren. Where is he at? Because, you know, you go back to the Texas game earlier this season, and people kind of like freaked out a little bit about that. And then you see some of these other numbers that he's throwing up and how he's getting more comfortable, getting to his spot in a rhythm and flow offensively to, I think, where Mark Few wants him. Where is he at right now in your eyes?
I still think he's the top prospect as Timmy gets blocked there at the rim. But, you know, I think it's close, especially between him and Jabari Smith. But I would still have him #1. I mean, if you look at the numbers, I know it's conference play, it's WCC, but he's the only guy in NCAA history. Nice footwork there.
Good charge by Anton Watson in transition. In today's college basketball, every single time you lower your shoulder down to the defensive player like that, that call is going to go against you. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
Holmgren is the only player in NCAA history, okay, to average at least 3 blocks a game and shoot at least 70% from 2 and 40% from 3. Like, we've never seen this type of player, and that speaks to just how rare of a talent he is. So I'm enamored with what he brings on the defensive end of the floor as a shot blocker, his ability to space the floor as a shooter, shooting 45% from 3, and then can also handle in transition and create offense. So for me, he's still the #1 pick, but again, that's why we're coming out, that's why we're watching and constantly evaluating these guys.
There's Chet Holmgren on the bench for a moment. 21-14, his Zags lead here in San Diego. Holmgren's the block shots. I mean, obviously, yeah, you love to see a guy bring the ball up at that size, shoot the threes, but the innate shot blocking ability, Mike, seems so special to me.
Yeah, it's the timing and the toughness, too. I think that's what people get wrong about Chet Holmgren is nice finish. They see the body, they see the slight frame, and they think he's soft. And that's where you get yourself in trouble. That's where you get fired as a top executive if you're going to just make that assumption that because he's skinny, he's soft. I think people made that mistake with Evan Mobley as well. They looked and they said, oh, he's got a slight frame. How is he going to handle Jokic and Embiid and some of these bigs? And he's been just fine. So that's what I love most about Chet is that nasty streak that he has.
Well, the reality is nobody's handling Jokic and Embiid, so we can put that to bed. Here's the interesting thing. If you're drafted at number 1, you're looking at somebody that's a game changer for your organization. You're looking at somebody that's going to completely change the trajectory of where you're at. That's your hope every single year. Now, not all number 1s are created equal. We know that. To me, when I look at Jabari Smith and the way he defends and the way that he shoots and the way that he moves and the way that you can close your eyes and say plus 20 pounds, how much better is he going to be? To me, he's the number 1 guy. Where am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong in that assessment. Now, what I would say is I think he has probably the highest floor because at the very least, you're getting a guy who's elite guarding his position at 6'10" and is an elite floor spacer. Now, where I want to see him improve to become like a true number 1 guy you can run your offense through is as a ball handler and a passer. You know, he still needs to improve his flexibility, his agility when the ball's in his hand. You know, he gets bumped off his spots a little bit, and then his playmaking. You know, he's the worst passer of the 3, and if you look at a lot of the best players in the NBA, they can really facilitate. So that's my only question mark with him, but he's improved so much over the course of his high school career, now his college career, that I would project him to really maximize his potential in those areas. So I'm a huge fan of his. You can't go wrong with all 3 of these.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.